All right, so just so you guys are aware, we are going to be recording this call, so recording is in progress. You were probably just notified, but I'll mention that again before we kick things off. Looking at, probably going to wait till about 12:02 or so before we officially kick it off. Just give everybody a chance to get fully connected and integrated here.
Also ahead here at noon, 3 people dead, numerous others shot. A look at a violent weekend in Rochester. And the latest from Ukraine is the death toll continues to rise amid Russia's Good afternoon. We start today with breaking news at the noon hour. There is a law
you may want to mute WROC.
Yeah, we'll see if we can mute a couple people. Yeah. So as we're getting settled here, if you guys could just do me a favor, make sure you guys are muted as we go. That'd be fantastic. Give it about 1 more minute or so. All right, looks like we've hit a critical mass. Got a couple minutes past, so we'll get things fired up here. So welcome to this call. We're going to be going over some of the changes that have happened between the Victor and Canandaigua chambers. Want to bring you guys up to date on a couple things just before we really dive too deep into this call. Number one, this is being recorded, so those that were not able to make the call will be able to still digest this. And number two, we do have a couple people from the media present, so just bear that in mind when we get to the question and answer time. Other than that, my name is Andrew with the Ontario County Chamber of Commerce. I run the membership, so I'm the Director of Member Relations. I'm joined by Molly Clavin. She runs our events. And of course, our Director, Ethan Fogg. So we'll kind of run through, as far as our run of show, we'll go through some of the changes that have happened, what the Chamber actually does, the benefits that we provide, how people engage, all of that. We'll kind of go over some frequently asked questions, and we're going to open it up to Q&A. So my goal is that we can get through this in a quick way, get you guys educated, up to speed, and then we can really dive into asking or answering any questions that you guys have. Sound good? Good. All right, let's run. So we'll share our screen. Perfect. Okay, so we got our chamber information session, and I'll grab the clicker here. Okay, so first order of business, we'll kind of talk about the new brand and a bigger community. So the Victor Chamber of Commerce and the Canandaigua Chamber of Commerce have come together, and in that coming together, they have both actually as brands been officially retired. So now they have come together as the, oopsies, go back and forward. Okay, come together as the Ontario County Chamber of Commerce. So the service area that we saw in combining looked at, as far as looking at a countywide map and really even a surrounding county map. We already serve a majority of Ontario County, and so we've just kind of rebranded to reflect that fact. So it's very exciting, super awesome. So here's our map that I kind of mentioned. So all those pins are different member businesses, and you can see they're stacked on top of each other in a lot of different ways here. So we're very excited to be able to serve such a large service area. So we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 members currently, and so that's probably only looking to grow as well. So with this transition, this change, we're asking for a couple things. One is grace and patience. So with any new process, we are learning as we go. So there's a lot that comes together in this, and we are open to ideas and to suggestion. So please feel free to share, feel free to help us, feel free to let us know maybe any of the gaps in knowledge that we may have. We love new ideas. That's how so many of our great programs have gotten started. So some of the challenges that we've come through and are addressing as we work through this combination is database management is really our biggest challenge in all this. People have been fantastic as far as the excitement level, so you guys are all great. But the actual like numbers and listings and all that of two differently stored data sets coming together is going to take us a little bit to really sort through and make sure we get everything right. So that includes member listings, that includes emails and logins and a couple other things that some of them have gotten lost, or some of them didn't make the transition, or who knows what else. We're still parsing through all that. So it may take us as much as 2 months to get some of this stuff sorted out. We're hoping that we can get that done in less time. But we just ask for grace, for patience as we work through that. So data is going to be one of our biggest challenges.
And if I may, because for those of you on the call who already know me, you know I often interject in conversations. This is a great time to say that for those of you on the call, we invite each and every one of you to examine your firm's listing at onchamber.com. First of all, find it. In the unlikely event you can't find it, please let us know. There may be a very simple answer. Sometimes if we don't have your email address, that may be a fail point in the data process. So please, we invite you when the call is over, or now if you're a good multitasker, go to onchamber.com, go to the member list, and look for your business and examine it for correctness, completeness, timeliness, and also be aware that enhanced listings are now free for all of our members. So if you don't have video or photos already associated with your account, it's a perfect time for you to explore those new opportunities that used to be rather expensive that are now included free in all of our memberships. So back to you, Andrew.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's great. That's a great point of clarification. So we're going to dive into what it is that we do as a chamber. So what is it that members see and the benefits that they receive? So 3 major pieces we'll be talking about: successful connections, brand elevation, and community commitment. So all 3 of these kind of cover the blanket of what it is that we do. Okay, so let's talk about events really quick. I'm going to do my best to just kind of touch on these briefly because we do a lot of things, and each one of them kind of serves a different niche. Some of our main events that you'll see most often are our live mixers. We do these every 3 or 4 weeks. They are done at a member business, and a member business hosts that for us. It's a great opportunity for that business to get exposure to the broader business community, and it's always a great time to bring together connections and good fun at a member venue. So
tomorrow night, not too late to register.
Yes, our next actual mixer tomorrow night at the Lake House. So that's a great one. So all of our mixers are priced at $5, okay? And that $5 is just to make sure that you show up. So then we've got our Rise and Grind virtual networking that happens every Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning. So Rise and Grind is actually open to non-members. So most of our other events are going to be gated and mostly focused on our membership. But Rise and Grind, we've purposely set up to be open to anyone. And it's been fantastic so far. We're about 2 months into this, and we have anywhere from 10 to 20-ish people on a call at any given time. So this is the type of networking where it's not like you show up and you just pitch yourself the whole time. It's more centered around learning, about sharing, and about really getting to know some of the people you're networking with. And as that happens, you'll get to share about you and your business as well. We do industry roundtables, which are more ad hoc. They kind of happen as needed. So we get a chance to convene different industries around different topics that may be particularly timely. We do Chamber University classes, and again, with all these events, coming out of COVID, we're hitting the reset button on a lot of this stuff, so look for more information in the future. So Chamber University classes, we'll be starting those up again. Think of this like continuing education for business people. It's a great opportunity for you to learn more about a particular topic. Sometimes we'll bring in someone from advertising to talk about particular marketing need, maybe someone from finance to talk about how to run stuff in your business a little bit better. All of these are great opportunities. Number one, to learn, but number two, to also present. So if this is interesting to you, you may reach out to us and we can see if maybe you could be a presenter at one of these Chamber University classes. Moderated panel conversations. So these sometimes are focused on certain industries, or other times they can be focused on municipalities or particular issues. So a lot of times we've done these with local and Ontario county-wide politicians, as well as other types of industries. So great chance to get some up-to-date information, particularly when there's policy change or even on an annual basis as far as what people are focused on. And last one, as far as the major events, we'll talk about, our regular events, we'll talk about ribbon cuttings. These are for people who have either done a brand new business, they've opened up a new location, or done some major renovations that are worth celebrating. So both of these we try and rally our membership around, see if people can come out and celebrate some of this new change that a business has gone through. So those are our regular events. And again, as you guys have questions, please write them down. Hopefully I answer as many as possible through this quick presentation, and then at the end we'll go to Q&A. Okay, so next we have major programs. So these are our kind of once a year type of events. So we have the Athena Women's Leadership Awards. This is done, what time of year do we do this one? November, thank you guys. I'm still new here. So we do this one every November, so I got to experience it for the first time this year. It's fantastic, honors women in leadership, and we firmly believe that the things that are honored in a community are the things that are going to be cultivated there. And so this is a great chance to honor those women in leadership positions, both big and small, throughout our area. We have changed our Lifetime Achievement Award to now be called The Q. So it's going to be a barbecue, and that's coming up in May of this year. It's going to be more of a kind of a laid back, but also great opportunity to experience some good food and good opportunity to connect with your fellow business and community people. We just finished up our Business Inspiration Awards, which are 5 different awards that were actually selected as opportunities for our community. So each one of our categories is something that the community benefits greatly when it is done. So for example, one is Environmental Award, and that is centered around a business that is thinking forward, that is thinking in a way that benefits not just their business, but their either immediate local environment or the environment as a whole. So each one of those awards is something that is a major benefit to our community. And again, we want to celebrate those things that are worthwhile for everyone. So these awards represent things that are going to be helpful for the economy as a whole and the community as a whole. We have Alfresco FLX, and this is a recently rebranded and shifted a little bit. This one is going to be focused around brands that are front-facing. So think hospitality, think retail, think people that engage with visitors on a regular basis. So the goal here is working on kind of brand elevation and how to get a brand and a store or whatever type of a business you have to stand out in this marketplace and to do that really well. And then we have our Neoclassic Golf Tournament, which, as it sounds, is a golf tournament. Great opportunity to get outside and network with your fellow business people. And then last, on the other opportunities, we've got committee involvement, event volunteerism, and board service, all as other ways to get involved and cultivate those successful connections. Let's talk a little bit about brand elevation. So another reason that people join the Chamber is they would like to kind of have some of the glow of the Chamber rub off on them. So combined between the two chambers, I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 150-ish years of service to this community. And 150 years goes really deep. That matters a lot to a lot of people. We've been around for a long time. We've been in this position for a long time, and we've been able to help for a while. And so that opportunity kind of spreads itself out through some different opportunities for people to put their own brand out there alongside us. So one of those ways is our Find It Guide and Map, which is actually going to be rebranded. We are going to be changing that to the Community Handbook. I want to make sure I get it right.
Well, the name's still under consideration.
Still under consideration.
Well, especially because since the last time we visited that guide, our family has changed considerably, and we want to be as inclusive as possible in this guide. So we will be working with the designers. We work with the folks at Life in the Finger Lakes magazine to fabricate this piece for us, and we will use their talent and their relationships as well as ours to create a piece that is easy for the consumer to use to find what they need in Canandaigua, Victor, Ontario County, and certainly in the Finger Lakes.
Beautiful. Yeah, so that the Find It Guide, or whatever we rebrand it as, that one's going to be focused on more tourism or visitors to our community. On Canandaigua, which is our second print piece, that one is both our members guide, so it's got all of our member listings in the back of it, as well as more of a community-centered piece. People who are considering moving here, or people who currently live here who would like a nice piece to display on their countertop or in their living room. So On Canandaigua Magazine is the name of that one. So next we have the At 113 newsletter and megaphone. Those are our weekly emails that we send out. So the At 113 newsletter is a general update on business in the community, as well as some of our upcoming events and things that we want our business leaders to be aware of. And then within the newsletter and the megaphone is opportunities for advertising, for putting some of your events or some of your things that you want out there as well. So next is website advertising. So we're starting to open this up and explore this a little bit more, but opportunities to put your brand on our website and to show up a little bit more frequently as people browse and peruse that area. Our visitor center placement, so this is free for all of our membership, whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're a front-facing business, whether you're business to business, doesn't matter. There's a place in there for everybody. So the visitor center, if you have any cards, business cards, if you have any brochures, please bring them on down. We would love to put them out. Okay, so we do have more of a residential side of our visitor center and more of a visitor side to that visitor center. We mentioned your member listing earlier. That's at onchamber.com, and that can be edited by you. You can actually sign in, upload photos, change all of that around to make it look as sharp as you want. And that's an opportunity for traffic that comes to the On Chamber website for you to then channel that, to push that towards a phone number, to push that towards a website, to push that towards emailing you. It's a great chance to have some leads come your way through our website.
And we actually, Andrew, we have some members who are small or whose budgets don't support a full website of their own that have actually decided to use our enhanced member listings as their primary website. It's the kind of thing that's easily linked to either perhaps a vanity URL if people want to brand it for their own use, or if they just want to direct people to their chamber listing. They also populate quite high in Google searches.
Yes, they do. Oftentimes, I see our actual chamber listings come up before even member businesses. So there's a lot of great things that happen as you update your member listing. It's going to kind of push you further up some of the rankings on Google as well. So sponsorship is another one. So obviously all of our events are open for sponsorship and for people to take part in that way. It's a great chance to be in front of the room and be seen as a major part of this community. Let's talk about community commitment. So we believe that as our members are finding success, the community as a whole is going to enjoy the benefit of that. So we really strongly believe in business. Otherwise we wouldn't be here, right? We think that business really sets the community and the tone as well. So we think that as businesses are successful, as businesses are going out and doing good in the community, as our nonprofits are stepping up and serving at a high level, all of us get to benefit from that. And so that's really our mission, is to make sure that the businesses in our community are thriving. And some of the ways that we benefit our community outside of just those business relationships, we do have college scholarships that go out through one of our programs. We have some MWBE, minority and women-owned business scholarships for people who are maybe just getting started and looking to get involved in a chamber. We are a part of Leadership Ontario, which is helping the next crop of emerging leaders in our community. I'm actually, Molly and I are both in that program. It's fantastic. So it's actually opening up again for the second cohort. So if you have an emerging leader in your company, someone who you see as management level talent, or maybe is already in that level, this is a fantastic way to get them a better idea of what's going on in the county as a whole. So I've really enjoyed my experience with that so far. We already mentioned our publications as kind of a way that we put out opportunities for our community, but those publications are free. We do not charge for those. So they are free to anyone that comes into our member center. They are free to anyone that wants one mailed to them. We are firmly in belief that as more of this gets out there, everybody gets to benefit from this. We also have a co-working space at our location in 113 South Main Street in Canandaigua. So that co-working space right now hosts a couple of different organizations, and we're actually looking to expand that co-working space, to open that up a little bit to allow some businesses that would like a permanent location, but perhaps don't want an entire office floor or a gigantic office to themselves, a great chance for businesses to be involved in the community and have an actual physical presence on the street. And lastly, one of the things that we do is help connect our nonprofits. So we have many nonprofits that are members of the chamber, and it's fantastic because they get to network with other like-minded people. They get to network with business people, find benefactors, board members, and other people that have an interest in serving the community. So to exercise your benefits, 3 quick things. 1, I'd recommend you show up to events. Just come meet some people, come mingle. Whether you're a wallflower or whether you love mixing and mingling, there's opportunity for everyone. So one thing I have found is if showing up at an event where nobody is terrifying for you, you may look at some of the virtual networking. It's made to be low key, low barrier to entry, and really easy to get to know people. And that may be a great way to start to ramp up.
And I also want to say, because I think all of us are a little shy in new environments, whether you're new to a chamber, period, or whether you feel like you're joining an existing family, if you're a little shy about attending your first event, I invite you to call or email any one of us and just let us know that you'd like to be greeted when you get there. I mean, we have a registration table. We do what we can to make everybody feel comfortable. But if we know I almost think of it as when I'm traveling with someone, if I know they're a little intimidated by the idea of flying, I know better how to be a friend of theirs in the airplane. Think of it the same way at a social event that you might not be familiar with. Just let us know you're coming, and we'll connect you with one of our closer friends, and just make sure you've got a buddy who makes you feel comfortable quickly, because you belong there, and it'll help you get more out of your experience here at the Chamber.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things I can recommend just from personal experience with events is when you show up to an event, I would recommend showing up to another, and another, and another, because you're always going to feel like an outsider the first time you show up somewhere, and sometimes even the second, sometimes even the third. But a lot of times after you've been there a little bit, you kind of become a regular. You kind of start to get a handle on it, and you start to get a feel for the way it feels. So don't be worried if you're newer to some of the events. Just keep showing up, and you'll fit right in no time. I have no doubt about that. So we mentioned already, reach out to us with questions, with challenges. You're having trouble logging in, or there's a missing email or something that's not working. We are here to help troubleshoot. We're here to help. And again, for other stuff, if you want to brainstorm or talk about maybe some additional opportunities, we're more than open to talk about that as well. So make sure you log into your member portal. So that's onchamber.com. You go up into the upper right-hand corner, look for login, and try logging in. Okay. If your email does not work, again, we mentioned we've been running into some database issues. Just shoot me an email. I'll handle that. Abiernat, ABIERNAT @onchamber.com. Okay, and I'll help you through that process. We'll go really quick into some frequently asked questions that we've gotten since this kind of whole change has happened, and then we're going to open this up to Q&A from you guys. So what about the other chambers in Ontario County? That's one that we've gotten several times. So what we noticed when we combined forces with Victor was we had a large cohort of shared members. We had between 20 and 25% of the members of Victor were also members of Canandaigua. And so we think there's a strong appetite out there for many businesses to be a part of multiple chambers. And so for us, we're representing the county and serving the county and some of the neighboring counties. And within that, we're not looking to take members. We're not looking to be the only chamber. We recognize that there's a lot of reasons to be a part of one chamber, and there's maybe even more reasons to be a part of multiple chambers. So we really believe strongly in our chamber neighbors, and we wish them the best. How much is it to be a member? So for the Ontario County Chamber of Commerce, the membership dues are anywhere from $308 upwards into the $700, $800, $900 range. But the majority of our members, we just pulled this data a couple months ago, majority of our members fall somewhere between $300 and $400 as far as their regular membership dues. For those that were members of Victor, the Victor Chamber, and you're wondering, okay, so this whole change has happened, like how much are my dues, what's going on? So what we're looking at is we're going to maintain the due structure that Victor had for at least a year. So as far as billing in this coming year, 2022, we're going to keep bills at the same rate as they were, okay? So that's just to kind of ease the transition, provide a ton of extra value, and just really kind of cement this new relationship going forward. Now, another question, especially for Victor people, you may be wondering, okay, when am I going to be billed? For those that were typically billed in the December, January, February, March range, we're looking at sending out that billing coming up at the beginning of April, so end of March into beginning of April. Okay, so that's most of the common questions that we've been getting, but I'm sure there's plenty of uncommon questions or ones that we haven't thought of just yet. So we would love to open this up for you guys and any other questions that you have. So why don't we, if you do have a question, if you can try and do a raise hand on your device, that way it'll kind of shoot you up to the top of the list, and we'll kind of just go in descending order as far as who's got their digital hand raised. And if that's not working, you can do an actual physical hand raise, and we'll find you.
I know that was a lot to digest quickly. We're pretty excited, and also part of the excitement is true confessions, the three of us have never gone through blending two organizations before. So we're already having really neat conversations with folks from what we think of as both families before the marriage, if you want to think of it that way. We're some of the frequently asked questions we've already heard, but we're also, there's some excitement around the discoveries we have almost every day, in part because we're discovering some things we alluded to even in the data that we want to make sure that everyone is getting what they're entitled to, and that in a change of this magnitude, thank you in advance for your forgiveness of any modest oversights on our part. We are asking, and we will repeatedly in email before the 1st of April, to make sure that every member has their current and correct information on our database at onchamber.com, because some of our annual reports to the public will be sent to press on the 1st, and we want to make sure that you get credit for being part of this whole great thing. So among all the other things we'll be doing, please help us out with that to make sure that we're listing you and your contact information and your interests correctly.
So we had a question in the chat, and I'm going to send this one to Ethan. Question about Hang Around Victor Day and other events that Victor Chamber used to host.
Well, I don't have any concrete answers. What I am able to tell you is we're working with some primary actors in the community of Victor to explore what those potentials might look like. We want to make sure that things that matter to Victor endure. I cannot guarantee that we will be the primary partner in those things moving forward, but that we will work diligently to find appropriate local partners for those things that would benefit from any revenue associated with those events, and that the community itself would not suffer unduly from the loss of anything that matters to them.
Any other questions? You guys are welcome to ask in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand. So we do have a hand up. We'll go Jill Myers.
Yeah, hi there. Thanks for doing this. I had more of a comment, which is why I was waiting for questions. With respect to the tourism map, the Find It pamphlet, whatever you're going to call it going forward, a lot of our guests have commented, I have a bed and breakfast for those who don't know me. They're looking for a little simpler format. And I know we're going to have more members now, in a bigger demographic. I didn't know if there was a way, because the old one was pretty easy to use for our consumer guests. So I didn't know if there was a way there could be an insert of the map of the local areas or something in that. It's becoming lengthy is my point, and our guests have commented on it, just an FYI.
Good to know, Jill.
Thank you. Yeah, that's actually great intel. We appreciate that.
If you don't mind, Jill, when we get closer, because you and I have a nice working relationship, when we get to something akin to a rough draft, if you don't mind, I'd love to reach out sidebar.
Of course, anytime. Thanks for doing this again.
You guys got it. Yeah. So we got a question, looks like from Chris. Who is that? I can't quite see. But it says, can we edit contact info on the site, or do we need to email you those changes and logo update. So as of right now, you should be able to log into your member portal and update any of your member listing or any of your representatives within your business that you would like to be able to access all that. So you should be able to edit that on your end. Again, with database concerns, if you're not able to log in, then I would look at sending me an email and I can get you set up with that. But you should be able to handle any of the listing stuff or any of the back end stuff on your own. That'd be great. Actually, if you guys could update that, that would look wonderful. Then we've got a question from Rebecca Swift. We've got, was the Geneva Chamber ever considered to join since they too are in Ontario County?
I'll take that one, Andrew.
Sure.
Actually, for the purposes of friends on this call, we should start perhaps in late summer, early fall, with the idea that the Canandaigua Chamber at the time was having serious conversations about rebranding, because at 111, 112 years of service, we had grown to serve members in 6 counties, 5 surrounding Ontario. And so we were poised to move forward in a way that really reflected the work we have been doing. We have members, literally 500 and some odd members, and this is going back before the announcement that Canandaigua Chamber of Commerce had roughly 500 members in a 6-county service area. And we didn't want to be overly grandiose and brand ourselves as something like the Chamber of the Finger Lakes or, you know, of the Northern Continent. But so we, after several conversations with actors inside and outside of the chamber, we settled on between being located in the county seat and having dense membership really across the county and connecting with some of our major investors, that they reflected that that was really their understanding of our current operations. So we were prepared to make that decision and act on it when friends from the Victor Chamber reached out to us. So when I look at this question, there was no asking done on behalf of the Canandaigua Chamber of Commerce as it stood. Actually, the invitation, Victor came to us, and we had essentially decided already by that point to adopt a new brand. And Victor made the conscious decision to stand beside us as we rebranded. So I don't know if that answers the question or not, but we welcome conversations with any Chamber of Commerce that would like to partner on events or partner on logistics or explore any other perhaps operating agreement. But today, it's just the two of us that have become ultimately one.
Awesome. Let's look through our guests really quick, see if we had any other questions. Again, please type in the chat or raise of hands if you guys had anything else. Oh, did Mitch have his hand up? Mm-hmm. Mitch, did you raise your hand? Go ahead, Mitch, if you want to unmute.
Yes, I did. Hi, everybody. I must admit, this is the longest I've seen Ethan on camera without saying anything. I want to congratulate you for your restraint. For everybody's background, I used to work for the Victor Chamber for about 10 years, and we explored this possibility a number of times, and it's finally come to fruition. I'm very excited about what's going to be happening for businesses in the membership. I've been active with the Victor Chamber recently as my small side business started up. I've attended a couple of networking events. They've been massive. We used to struggle at the Victor Chamber to get the kind of attendance that we wanted at events. And the Ontario County Chamber of Commerce has accomplished what we were trying to do. A chamber with this longevity in a community, being in the county seat, being in the center of banking, the center of healthcare, has an awful lot of opportunities for businesses that are interested. To Andrew's earlier point, I understand very well, and some people may be surprised to hear this, the discomfort or bashfulness, shyness that one may encounter coming into a networking event, especially with 50 or 60 people there. I can assure you it's a very pleasant and a very positive experience for businesses. If somebody's new, please come up to me at one of those events and ask me to introduce you around. Be glad to go that far for you. And I know Andrew and his people would also. So let me just say, from the perspective of not an old Victor Chamber of Commerce member, but a former Victor Chamber of Commerce member, that this is a very exciting and positive event for the entire county. So that's my 2 cents.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mitch. Looks like Michelle, go ahead.
I think
Well,
Michelle's finished with her lunch.
I did. For those that saw me earlier on the call, I did have lunch. I was multitasking like most of you are, I'm sure. So my name is Michelle Pedzik, and I am the current board chair of the Ontario County Chamber. I was formerly the chair of the Canandaigua Chamber of Commerce. And, you know, one of the things that I think that is really good framework for all of us is that we all want businesses to be successful. We want to keep tax dollars in our areas. We want visitors to come to our locations. So really focusing on engagement and collaboration and relationship building with whoever you are, whether you're a small business, whether you're a bid, whether you're another chamber, you know, we're all trying to do the same thing. And sometimes there's strength in numbers and strength in focus for needs that may be a little bit more unique to our county and the surrounding counties and the Finger Lakes. So our door is open for conversation, for brainstorming, whatever you need. Please don't hesitate to reach out to this fine team that's on this call. It's great seeing so many familiar faces on this call, but it's also great seeing some faces that we don't know. I'm the Chief Human Resources Officer for Canandaigua National Bank. I will walk around with you at a mixer the whole time and keep you company if you need someone. So really, thank you for being on the call and your attention today. And as I think Andrew and Ethan and Molly eloquently pointed out, we're kind of building this bridge as we walk on it, but that's a good thing because there's lots of opportunity to adjust. So again, thank you so much, and don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any additional questions or feedback, and we're all ears.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. We'll go, any final questions? All right. Well, without further ado, friends, I'll let you get back to the rest of your workday. Thank you all for joining us.
And if you have any questions after you say goodbye, in the footer of the website at onchamber.com is a link to reach out to a general email box, or you can email any of us directly. We're in the staff directory on the website, and we welcome the opportunity. I, for one, drink coffee every day, so let's connect.
All right. Thank you, gang.